Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Kaspa KAS. We've been tracking this now for a while, and the expectations have been for price to pull back to that trend line. It's overall still holding quite well, I have to say. And as long as we still hold above the trend line, in my opinion, extensions to this third wave are possible. And it would be a diagonal structure which is unfolding here to the upside, yeah? So I would use this trend line, it's overall a price channel, to determine if we are already in yellow wave 4 or not. So at the moment, we're tracking this move to the upside here as a potential diagonal structure, which, in my opinion, would be either complete with wave 3 or would get an extension in wave 3, but that will be determined exactly here. If you followed the last updates, you will know that we expected a pullback to the trend line, especially as price broke to the downside of this ascending wedge pattern that you see here on the chart. Yeah, this was already communicated a few days ago, actually, and that this confirmed break would send us down to the trend line. So in line with that, price has followed the forecast. Now we are at the next decision point. Of course, if price can hold this trend line, we're exactly at the pivot point. Price can hold this trend line, then we should be able to see an extension of this C wave, possibly even to 11.6 cents. Would already pay attention to the 7.1 cent level extension, but 11.6 would be the likely target because this is the 1-to-1 ratio, 100% extension, a relevant target for this C wave. At the moment, it's hovering around the 61.8 extension at 4.8 cents, but a very, very likely one is typically the 1-to-1 ratio, 100% extension. Yeah, so this is currently where we are here, and this trend line is going to decide. Okay, you can say that we've reached with this C wave of wave 3 basically the minimum this C wave would need to do, the 61.8 extension, but a very likely extension level is the 11.6 cent level. So it's all about what happens now here at the trend line. A break below the trend line could send us first to 2.9 cents, but I have to say it in this video, I would consider that not a very likely support level. It is one, but it would be, in my opinion, too shallow for a wave 4. I would primarily look for it to go lower, at least to 2.02 cents. That's the 38.2 fib level. But if we really deal with the diagonal, it should come down lower. Looking at the indicators, you can see a pretty substantial divergence, bearish divergence on the daily chart, but also on the lower time frame here, just here between these two highs, but more substantially between these two highs. So it's now also in the bearish range. So I would primarily expect this to head down lower now, but ultimately if it wants to turn to the upside, it would do it here. But my primary expectation would be, based on what I see right now, and the weakness, the divergences, that we are heading down lower, that we're already in the wave 4. But again, it will be decided by the market exactly here. And looking at the 4-hour chart, you also see here we are now in the bearish range. Now what can always happen is that even if we get a bounce from here at the trend line, which is a perfect spot for a bounce, it may just be a corrective bounce and then heading down. Yeah, so it might always delay that break. Okay, so because a wave 4 would be an ABC structure, A, B, C. Okay, but if this is already the A wave, it would be quite shallow. What would be more likely is that we're getting something like that if we get a larger or more significant wave 4, that we did something like this A wave, or that we do something like that A wave, B wave, C wave. So I would find this quite shallow already to be all of wave A. So it could just be an ABC in a larger A wave, then a B wave, then a C wave. Yeah. So I would, if we're really in the 4th wave, we should come down a little bit lower, yeah, eventually. So, but again, a short-term bounce is absolutely likely at some point, because we've got on the 4-hour chart now a small bullish divergence between these two swing lows. And we've hit obviously a support level with this ascending trend line. So yeah, I think that's sort of what we need to be watching for. The relevant levels should be clear. If we now obviously break above the last swing high, we're in an extension of the 3rd wave. The next targets have been communicated. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.